Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Elena, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. So I have been teaching planning your life and managing your money for about 3 years now. And one of the top questions that I get on the planning side is, how do you plan your day when each day is different and unpredictable? Most people know that you do have to plan your day in order to be productive, but if you have an unpredictable job or small kids and no 2 days are the same, it can be challenging to structure your day. So today I wanted to help those of you who struggle with using your planner because of a crazy schedule. My very first tip is to not time block. I know that I promote and I talk about time blocking all the time, but time blocking is really set up for people who kind of have an idea of how their day is going to flow. But if your day is very unpredictable and all over the place, this system will not work for you. So instead, I recommend that you get a vertical style planner and use lists in order to plan your day. You can use a planner that has this type of style where it's one big section and you can write in all of your lists in order to write out a list every single day. Now, you want to keep this list really simple and don't have too many items on it, or you could find yourself getting very overwhelmed. But I have found that if each day is different for you, this is the best style, the best way for you to plan your day. My second tip is to always have your top 3 to-dos that you want to complete every single day. So I do this as well in my catch-all planner. If you see my catch-all, I always have these boxes at the very top of my schedule, and these are the things that I will want to accomplish throughout the day. Now, I usually do 4 items, but I would definitely recommend that you start off with at least 3 items on each day. And since you are working off of a list, you'll just have one really long list here. You need to find a way to prioritize your top 3. It's really easy to put off the super important task for easier tasks that are on your list. And that's why I always recommend that you have a top 3. The top 3 most important things that you need to get done. And these are the things that you're going to do first. You need to have a system of showing yourself that these are your top 3 items for the day. Like I showed you in my catch-all, it's at the very top of my planner. But if you're using a list like this planner, then you may not have that option. You may want to highlight your top 3 or use some type of tick mark system, some type of key that lets you know that these are your top 3 items and that they should be done first. But you want to find a way to identify those top tasks so that you don't keep putting them off and putting them off for another day and you're actually being productive. My third tip is to plan your day the night before. I know that you see all of these wonderful ladies on YouTube planning their entire week or their entire month in their planner, and you want to do it as well. But it's best for you not to write in any of your plans until the night before. There is no point in planning an entire week in advance if you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So when you plan one day ahead, it actually allows you to have the most accurate information that you need, and your plans will be more likely to actually happen, which means you will actually use your planner and it's going to be the best system for you. Now, I do a little bit of both. As you guys know, I am an hourly planner, but that is because I'm an entrepreneur. I pretty much set my day. My kids are a little bit older, so we're at the place now where not many things will interrupt my day. So what I'll do is I always put in my standard plans. Like I put in my morning routine, I know my evening routine, I know when I'm going to stop working. I have my top 3 here, but then in the middle here, I don't always write in all of my plans. As you can see, everything is blank here. I'll put some lines like I know I'm going to be working on business, as in my planner in the business section, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing. And that's the way that I kind of structure my day, to where I have a little bit of both. I'm not planning every single second out, but I also have structure to my day. And usually what I'll do is I set up my whole week. I'll write in the standard things that I know. And then the night before, I will look at the very next day and write in more plans. So that's the part where I'll come in and say, okay, what am I going to do exactly in business? But planning the night before will help you to make sure that your planner actually has accurate information, which means you'll be more likely to use it. Tip number 4 is to be flexible. Now, this is probably the most important tip that I have for you today, and that is to be flexible. So many times I will help someone create their planning system and we will set it up and I will ask them how it's going and they'll say, oh, it's not working at all because I was supposed to do certain things that I had on my schedule and I just didn't get them done. And when we get into the details, we realize that something just interrupted their day. Maybe they got a phone call, maybe they were called into an unscheduled meeting, but something happened that threw their day off track. And when that thing occurred, they never came back to their planner. Your day will never go exactly as you have designed it. It's just not going to happen. I plan my week every single week, and I don't think I've ever had a week that goes exactly as planned, which is why I always write in black and red. Black tells me that's what I had planned, but then red is what ends up happening instead. Now, when I first started planning, I had red all over my page, and that's because when I first started planning, I was still trying to figure out my exact system, still trying to figure out the flow of my day. Nowadays, I kind of have a little bit more of a handle on my days, so I don't have as much red, but then sometimes I will have a lot of different things that are going on. Like this particular day, I didn't feel well, and when I didn't feel well, I just changed my day, and that's okay. You have to be willing to adjust. Your plans are not going to happen as you have scheduled them. You have to adjust and be a little bit flexible. When something happens, let's say I get a phone call. If it interrupts my day and I don't have to take the phone call at that very moment, I will ask that person if we can schedule a time to where I can call them back. If I can reschedule the call, then I will reschedule it on the spot and open up my planner and write in the scheduled time that I'm going to actually do the call. If I get a phone call and I can't reschedule it, let's say it's an emergency or it's something that I need to handle right in that very second. When that happens, I just take the phone call at that moment. And then after I'm finished the phone call, I will look at the time of the day, I will come back to my planner, and then I will adjust all the different things that I'm supposed to be doing in that moment. I will replan, scratch off different things, and then I will start making adjustments then. But the point is you aren't a planner if everything happens perfectly, because everything will never happen perfectly. And if that was the case, none of us would be good at planning. You are a planner if you're able to get things done despite everything else. If something interrupts your day, you are easily able to adjust and be flexible and still be productive. So keep that in mind, that planning is not about perfection. Your day is never going to be perfect. It's best that you just take what you can get, rearrange it, and make sure that you can get as much done as possible. And tip number 5 is to work in blocks. Now, this is a callback to the first tip. In the first tip, I stated that you should not time block if your day is different and unpredictable. I recommended instead that you work in lists, that you have one section of your planner where you can write down one really long list. Well, if you know you are prone to procrastinate, then working with just a list may not help you. You may still find yourself putting things off. So another option is to work in blocks. When you work in blocks, you aren't giving yourself a specific time, but you are giving yourself a block of time in order to get things done. So for instance, this first block here could be the morning time, and this could be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The second block could be afternoon, and it could be 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then the evening time, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. You could list 3 to 4 things to do during each block. This still gives you the flexibility in case something happens, but it also gives you the structure of a time frame to make sure that you actually get things done. The reason I like this system is because when you're working in a block and you have certain things that you're supposed to be doing, if it's 1 o'clock and you haven't done anything here, then you know that you're already behind schedule. Sometimes when you're working just off of one really long list and you feel like you have the full day, you could end up putting things off that you're supposed to be getting done here. But I like to have at least 3 or 4 tasks under each section of the day. And that way you're kind of keeping an eye out of how your day is going and if you're actually being productive. So guys, those were my 5 tips on how to plan your day when each day is different and unpredictable. I hope that this video has helped you, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.